saga. I know a lot of people have been trying to point out that, like, you know, there was leaked video of Destiny and Nick Fuentes and him blowing Nick Fuentes. There was actually leaked video of Destiny blowing somebody. It wasn't confirmed that it was Nick Fuentes, but there are direct accusations of him having an affair with Lauren Southern, who is yet another white supremacist. So either way, he's in bed with white supremacists. Kick streamer Steven, Destiny's ex-wife, Melina, has alleged that he had an affair with Lauren Southern on November 20th, 2024. A 1 minute and 46-second video from Melina's Twitch livestream was posted to YouTube drama subreddit. In the video, the content creator discussed last year's controversy that erupted after Destiny leaked a private message on social media. Melina claimed that she name-dropped Lauren Southern in the message and that a lot of stuff was happening. The 26-year-old said that people can put the puzzle pieces together and really easily regarding the alleged situation involving Destiny. Last year, he leaked a message of mine that I sent someone I thought was a friend, and in that message I mentioned Lauren. You know, I mentioned her because there was a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, like, this is something we already know. I don't really know why people are speculating. Like, I think people can just put the puzzle pieces together, like, really easily if they just look at it and say, okay, these things happened. I even mentioned, and then people asked about it, and they said that I got jealous because they streamed so much. That's not really what happened. I feel like it was pretty clear who was being honest here of what actually happened. There are many things that so many people have said happened, and if he wants to deny that, fine. That brings us to what just happened recently, which was Lonerbox was someone who was supporting Destiny for a very long time and has recently announced that he is not going to be streaming. They were obviously collaborating together on a number of things, and Lonerbox went from someone who I believed, like, the last time I talked to that guy was 2 years ago, and that's because he wanted to debate me over finding it cringe that people were saying fuck the Queen. So I guess that would have been what, like 2 years ago when the Queen of England died, and I had to explain to him how there was a lot of fucked up shit that the Queen of England died, that you should be abolishing the monarchy, that there's absolutely nothing cringe about saying that, and then why in the world do you have to fucking defend you know, someone who has so much wealth and power as the British monarchy. But either way, he announced that he's going to be leaving streaming. So this video just came out today by President Sunday, and then I was going to read the Substack of Pxie, who's directly accusing Steven of some illegal behavior.
In this video, I'm going to tell you a story about a man. It's a story that has been replicated over and over and over in government, in show business, in business boardrooms, restaurant franchises. This time, it's about a man with a small social media empire on YouTube. A man who uses his clout and his fame to lure mentally and financially vulnerable women from his community into sexual encounters which he records and then, without their consent, shares with others. It's about how that man developed such a stranglehold over his community that no one, no matter how disgusted they are, will dare call him out for this, even when it becomes public knowledge. And most importantly, this is a story about power, and of how normal human feelings can be contorted to serve a machine to make a man immune to the effects of the abuse he has inflicted on an astonishing number of people. Stephen Bonnell II, or as he's known online, Destiny, is a highly successful political streamer and content creator who has garnered infamy not just for public outbursts and controversial political positions, but also for an impressive number of public threats, sexual scandals, and even outright criminal actions. This recently culminated on November 29th of 2024, when an anonymous Discord and Kiwi Farms user going by the name Solo Leaks published a large repository of private messages and pornographic images and videos of Destiny with various men and women to Discord and Kiwi Farms, recordings that Destiny had shared to strangers without the consent of the people in them. It's important to note that this is not the first time that Destiny has been the subject of a large sexual scandal involving non-consensually leaked intimate material. All the way back in 2012, Destiny was caught up in a scandal involving a competitive StarCraft 2 player called Blue T, who had tweeted out a photo of his genitals. This was in retaliation for Destiny previously leaking nude images of her to his friends on Skype, wherein he laughed at how quote-unquote fucking hideous her face was compared to her quote-unquote beautiful body. In 2021, Destiny had a romantic entanglement with a YouTube streamer named Anna Voir. Anna would go on to become known for insisting, often tearfully, that she was actually in a long-term romantic relationship with Destiny, which Destiny denied, painting her as crazy to his audience. It was later revealed that in fact, while Destiny was insisting to his audience that Anna was insane, he was actually sexting her the entire time, and referring to her with terms such as princess in their conversations. Anna threatened to post these sexually charged texts to prove that she wasn't crazy and that this was all actually taking place. And in retaliation, Destiny threatened in public to leak her nude photos if she did so.
Like if you and I had like sexted or something or traded nudes and you were like, I'm gonna leak your nudes, and I go, fuck you, if you leak my nudes, I'm gonna leak your nudes. Is that like blackmail or is that like abusive? I disagree.
So do you think that leaking sexting and leaking nudes is proportional, or do you think it's a proportional response in the way that you're reacting to them?
I think it's about proportional. If you're leaking like sexual material and shit from another person, yeah, fuck it, I think it's proportional.
Destiny has also at least once admitted to accidentally sending homemade videos of him and his wife to people who his wife did not in advance approve of, in accordance with a previous agreement that he wouldn't.
Me and Lena had a conversation about, there were a few girls we talked to, was like, oh cool, like we should record videos of like us fucking shit and send it to people, like it's fun. I kind of like have like my little archive of like Coomer material that I'll send to people if I want to. There were girls that I talked to past that I'd send stuff of like either me or me and Melina, and Melina talked to me and she was like, hey, if you're gonna send any videos to new girls that we haven't talked about, like let me know that first. Because she wanted to be careful. It was like, oh, okay, sure, that's fine. I didn't think of it at the time because I didn't think it mattered. But for the first thing, like, okay, yeah, I should have like checked 100% with Lena, but like this.
Other examples of threats and sexual misconduct made by Destiny are plentiful, but the general point is this. Destiny has a very bad history when it comes to sharing intimate material of people that he is sexually involved with without their consent. Savory details about the relationship to the public because he too had compromising information on her, and logs that would seriously harm Melina's reputation if they were revealed. Whereas, since his reputation around relationships was already so low, he would be effectively immune to the consequences.
Why do you think that she isn't going to leak or talk shit? Melina will not leak or talk shit about any of this because she knows that everything about this makes her look like a f***ing satanic demon. She knows that. She's threatened it a million times, like, I'm gonna start leaking everything. Oh, yeah, let's go. Okay, if you really want to, holy f, because my reputation is already zero in regards to our relationship. Everybody thinks I'm a horrible piece of shit. We wanna start leaking shit, we can do it.
Fast forward to November 2024. Due to the solo leaks, it has come to light that Destiny has been sharing intimate private messages, nude images, and pornographic videos with a 19-year-old OnlyFans creator called Rose, who he was sexually interested in at the time.
Okay, so yeah, to people asking, this is President Sunday's video trying to compilate all the receipts and basically present the narrative. Before I was going to read to you the statement that has just been released by one of the victims of the leaked revenge porn, who's now going to be suing Destiny for his actions and involvement in this.
Rose leaked these to a Discord and Kiwi Farms user called Solo Leaks, who may for all we know be Rose herself, who then published them to Discord and to Kiwi Farms. These leaks included intimate romantic and sexual DMs between Destiny and Lawrence Southern, who Destiny had long denied being romantically involved with while she became increasingly present in his public personal life and on stream, despite being publicly at odds with each other politically on the surface. Destiny even once described her activism.
One of the most fucked up things about this entire story too is that there's like, you know, for all the fucked up shit that Destiny does, there's always this mythos that behind the scenes, well, yeah, he's certainly crass and he's certainly, you know, very aggressive, but at the end of the day, he is trying to fight against the far right and push up against them and their beliefs and you know, de-radicalize people and turn them into liberals and pull people away from the far right, whereas like the dude's fucking in bed with them. Like you can't on one end pretend that you happen to be critical of Lauren Southern or her beliefs or her project while simultaneously being in a secret relationship with her.
As involving, quote-unquote, drowning refugees. These DMs revealed that in fact, Destiny and Lawrence Southern had been mutually declaring their love and admiration for each other, including expressing intentions to separate.
You're basically asking if I can argue, if you can argue me out of this, and I feel like I'm setting myself up for failure if I say yes. Like, obviously, I choose you. I wanted to be with you. I would have never gone on another date if that's what you wanted. You've been super transparent about not wanting the same things I do in life. That's heartbreaking because obviously we have something incredibly special. I really appreciate your honesty, though, because I'm not just making decisions for myself. I'm making them for Brock, too. I'm, like, only a few weeks into regular normal people dating, so I don't think that I could say that my mind is set on anything, but I also don't want you to ever be dishonest about your intentions and limitations within relationships because you want to keep what we have. I'm not going anywhere. You're always going to be a part of my life, I hope. I just don't really know what things are going to look like going forward, while I'm trying my best to be respectful and hold to my values with people I date to try and give healthy relationships the best start.
From the respective partners to marry each other. All of this was happening behind the scenes despite Destiny publicly claiming to his audience that he and Lauren were not involved, and while he was publicly accusing his wife Melina of lying and of being controlling privately when she would express displeasure about the relationship and when she requested that Destiny stop associating with Southern. In addition to these leaks, which not only severely compromised Lawrence Southern's career and personal life, but also established that Destiny was lying when he accused his wife of being delusional and controlling about the affair, Solo Leaks also published a massive dump of revenge pornography, which featured various sexual encounters with numerous men and women that Destiny had recorded and sent to Rose as part of their flirtations, which incidentally include references to how he recorded other people not included in the dump, including a recording of a sexual encounter with someone he met on the gay dating app Grindr with no mention of having alerted this person to the fact that they were being recorded. Note, it is a felony to record sex acts without consent in the state of Florida.
I also asked her if it was appropriate to share this, and she gave me permission to do so. And I'll be sharing the link as well to this in the chat. So, I will be suing Stephen Kenneth Bonnell II. I will be suing Stephen Kenneth Bonnell II. On November 29th, I learned that the streamer Destiny had non-consensually shared pornographic content of me online. My dignity, peace of mind, and hopes for the future were stripped away in a mere matter of seconds following the betrayal of someone I previously trusted. I am at least the third person he has done this to. I hope to be the last. I will not be commenting on the experience of the other women he has hurt, as it is not my place nor story to tell. I will, however, share my story in the hopes of preventing this from occurring again. I've known Destiny for about 5 to 6 years now, and often find myself in heavy disagreements with him. Despite this, I do my best to see best sides of all people, trying my hardest to spread positivity and create understanding where I can. It's corny, but I want to meet people where they are, and focus on which ways we can build bridges together towards a better future for everyone. Some people call this a fault of mine. They claim that I'm naive and should be more careful. Those people are right. When I was 19, over 5 years ago, I was extremely sexually inexperienced and sheltered. Being severely terrified of leading someone on or SA, I thought I could trust Destiny, who I had had multiple long conversations with regarding consent and boundaries. So you can imagine my surprise when I discovered he distributed pornographic content of me without my consent. Yes, you read that right. Stephen Kenneth Bonnell II sent pornographic content of me to a random 19-year-old e-girl Discord kitten whom he had never met before, and then she published it to the whole world. Rest assured, despite never having met her, he at least spoke to her plenty of times on the phone. Of course, this is what he says happened. I think it is just as likely that he used her as a proxy to widely distribute this material while claiming deniability. I do understand why Destiny would knowingly and willingly put me in a position where I would receive non-stop sexual abuse and harassment. If we believe him, he was trying to impress a barely legal teenager using my body and my privacy. The betrayal, coupled with the hundreds of messages I've received filled with sexual harassment and abuse, have left me feeling hopeless and devoid of almost all happiness. The only thing that has kept me going is the hope that I can bring this man to justice and have him face legal consequences for his actions. For the past month, I've been speaking to lawyers about my situation and what to do, and have decided this is the best course of action. I will be suing him for violating U.S. Federal Code 15 U.S.C. 6851, civil action related to the disclosure of intimate images for publication of private facts in Florida. I will be seeking emotional and punitive damages for these actions. I've been told that a court case like this could potentially cost over tens of thousands of dollars. I'm terrified. I mean, this guy talks about potentially suing Hassan as if for fun, and Hassan actually has the resources to defend himself. I cannot imagine what he might try to do to me in the process. Sometimes I wonder if he does this as an intimidation tactic. I wonder if he's purposely trying to put fear into my heart when he casually talks about throwing money into a lawsuit with a multimillionaire who can fight back, as if it's an indirect flaunt and a warning over his capabilities of outspending me in whatever legal case I can throw at him. At a request of my friend, I have been encouraged to link my Give Send Go regarding this case here in hopes that we can raise enough for me to legally succeed. GiveSendGo.com/Sue Destiny. However, the next quote, Joe Rogan of the left, is, it cannot be someone that crosses sexual boundaries, violates consent, and puts women in well-being and safety at risk. It cannot be someone who puts women in positions where they have to be sexually abused and harassed. It concerns me that Destiny has been interviewed as a potential DNC chair candidate, such as Marianne Williamson and Martin O'Malley, who have no idea about what he's done. As time passes, he tries to position himself to have interviews with increasingly powerful figures, such as Zelensky. I can't help but be filled with fear that Destiny might continue to succeed despite facing no repercussions for his actions. If the Democratic Party wishes to succeed in the future, it cannot be a party that accepts the sexual exploitation of women. It cannot be a party that allows men like Destiny to break into the mainstream for allowing him as much access to spaces that would be a direct endorsement of his behavior. I've been told that the payout might not be worth the harassment and attention I will receive. In an ideal world, I would do this privately, but I've been told there's no realistic way the court will grant me anonymity. This means the only option is to go public. I've been told by a variety of people not to go public. I've been told by some people that Stephen really does feel sorry, but I'm not inclined to believe them, especially taking into consideration his actions regarding me. Regardless, what Destiny did is unacceptable, and I believe he will do this again unless he faces justice. Has recently claimed that she will be taking legal action against kick streamer Stephen Destiny on a federal level for allegedly participating in the non-consensual distribution of revealing photographs of her. In her post on X regarding the matter, Pxie provided a link to her Substack blog, which supposedly provides a detailed account of what allegedly occurred, claiming that Destiny had made the decision to share her personal images without her consent on November 29, 2024. And we read the letter in full yesterday. Destiny has responded to an accusation that he shared indecent images of a woman that were spread to others, claiming that he had done nothing wrong and will follow the legal process. Well, it really comes down to, did you have permission from the women whom you shared the images of? And the women are saying no. You did not have permission by them to share their images with another person, a third party. Isn't this a fucking crime? Like, this is a crime in Florida. Like, shouldn't this be taken a lot more seriously than simply fucking Desertsto or Sportskeeda or shit like that? Like, this is one of the biggest political streamers who has spent the last year being platformed by some of the biggest academics who have been, debating the genocide of Palestinians. Like, they going now campaigning or working for and trying to get into the DNC and trying to speak to DNC members and politicians and shit like that. Meanwhile, the shit is incredibly serious. On January 20th, content creator Pxie levied the accusation against Destiny, stating, "On November 29th, I learned that the streamer Destiny had non-consensually shared pornographic content of me online." She went on to claim that she is at least the third person that he has done this to, adding that Destiny, whose real name is Stephen Bonnell II, had sent pornographic content to me to a random 19-year-old e-girl Discord kitten whom he had never met before. Then she published it to the whole world. She alleged that this is the version of events, but she believes that it is just as likely that he used her as a proxy to widely distribute this material while claiming deniability. In the Substack post, she continued, "I will be suing him for violating U.S. Federal Code 15 U.S. C-851 civil action related to the disclosure of intimate images and for the publication of private facts in Florida. I will be seeking emotional and punitive damages for his actions. I've been told that a court case like this could potentially cost tens of thousands of dollars. I'm terrified at the request of my friends. I've been encouraged to link to Give, Send, Go regarding this case here in hopes that I can raise enough for me to legally succeed." She continued, "Let me be clear, Destiny has violated federal law in his transgressions against me. He has violated my consent and is directly responsible for the sexual abuse I have received. I am terrified." Destiny responds. He said, "Sometime in November, extremely sensitive and personal material of mine was leaked. This affected not only me, but many people in my life. I want to be clear. The leak happened without my knowledge, consent, or authorization. I've never had the intention for any of these images to be published. But the leak, if the third party here, the person whom you sent the photos to, did you have permission by the people to send those photos to that person?" Because they're alleging you didn't. They did not consent to you sending it to that third party. Then the third party did something in addition to that, which is to leak those images. That's also fucked. Both of them can be, in their own right, crimes. He added that he hasn't spoken out publicly because he's pursuing litigation against multiple parties and didn't want to bring more attention to the situation, especially as one person involved had expressed suicidal thoughts regarding it. He went on, "Since the leaks were first circulated, Pxie had stressed to me that keeping things out of the public eye was important to her. I've always said I would do my best not to confirm or publicize anything, and I kept my word." De Laguna, who had a legal background. "Lauren has had a negative sentiment towards me after I rejected her romantic advances earlier this year. I understand that she organized the fundraiser to support Pxie's lawsuit against me, and I assume that she's been counseling Pxie on how to proceed. That same day, I received a message from Pxie where she suggested that she would create a post about me and go live after she had committed suicide. This concerned me greatly. I genuinely believe that she was still in mental anguish following the leaks weeks earlier. I responded in earnest, doing what I could to reassure her and letting her know that she had every right to pursue a legal course of action. At no stage did I try and convince her otherwise." That's so fucked up. So if someone comes forward and says, "Hey, by the way, I have suicidal intentions," or anything like that, to then weaponize that after the fact, the accusation here is that you didn't have permission from Pxie or any of the other women who are now accusing him of this to send a third party the videos or the photographs or the audio recordings of them. That's what they're accusing you of. If that third party leaked them, that's an entirely separate crime from everything that had taken place in the first position. And yes, this is really, really fucked up that, again, one of the biggest streamers is being accused of all this openly. Destiny also claimed that after speaking with a mutual friend, he discovered Pxie had allegedly been struggling financially, so he offered her money, to which she apparently said whatever price she would ask for would be too high and would only result in making her feel worse. He said later in the conversation with a mutual friend, Straighterade, she told me that Pxie didn't want me to cover the entire tuition for law school. Others told me that Pxie thought it would be appropriate for her to pay anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million. At no point did Pxie make a specific or explicit request for financial compensation. He did show text allegedly from Pxie confirming she wants Destiny to punish himself with a figure that would be hard to recover from. Destiny added, "Some of my personal messages have gone out to the world because of what happened, including multiple people, incredibly explicit videos of mine, many of which have been forwarded to family members and colleagues. Information has come out which has irrevocably damaged my personal relationships. I flat out cannot believe that anyone would think I intentionally leaked this material to the public. That's not what you're being accused of. It's not that you leaked it, the third party leaked it, but it's that you sent a third party videos and, again, photographs of people who didn't consent to you sending that content to a third party. So there's no apology here to the individuals who have been harmed by this. There is accusations of, I guess, extortion, or that someone is trying to get money out of them, and that's the reason why they're doing this. And now, in addition to that, what is going to happen to everyone who's like, if you and another person consensually film each other engaged in having sexual contact, and that's where the consent begins and ends, that you can film each other, you can use it for your own discretion or whatever you want to use it for. If you then send it to a third party, you're breaking that consent. You don't have permission to show other people. That's the whole reason why people call this revenge porn. If someone is like, hey, yeah, you filmed the two of us having sex, and now we've broken up, or we're not in a relationship anymore, or we don't even engage with each other anymore, do you still have those videos? Do you still have those photographs? Do you still have those audio recordings? Cherry confirms she's a victim of Destiny recording and sharing intimate actions without her consent. Cherry says, today I was made aware of an intimate audio recording taken of me without my consent that was also shared without my consent. I'm upset right now, and I'm going to give myself time to process. This is serious. The person who received the recording from Destiny was not aware I did not consent to the recording. They've recognized me by my voice and messaged me today out of concern. I don't feel comfortable sharing more right now. Cherry confirms that she's a victim of Destiny recording and sharing intimate actions without her consent. All of this is profoundly fucked. It's something that like should be taken a lot more seriously than people trying to frame the whole thing as like internet drama, or, you know, this should be on like live stream fails, or this should be on like r/YouTube drama and stuff like that. This sounds like crimes were committed. Sex crimes, numerous sex crimes to numerous individuals. One individual is accusing Destiny of recording her without her consent and then sharing that recording with a third party. Another person is accusing Destiny of consensually taken, I guess, photographs or videos, but then sharing those photographs or videos without her consent to a third party. That third party has leaked this to the horror of the other individuals involved, who obviously have become victims in this entire ordeal.